Let's talk about converters. Today I want to test out how bad it is, or if it's bad, to do multiple passes of conversion when it comes to mastering. I want to hear how bad the degradation of the signal is after multiple passes of conversion. I've made an important decision to remove my high-end mastering grade converter from my chain. I was using the RME ADI2 Pro FSR and I had all the pieces of gear in the studio connected to that. The conversion was pretty good, but I was missing the flexibility. I've made the decision to move everything to the X16. Now this is what I use for conversion, and every single piece of analog is connected to its own individual channel. So if I want to create a mastering chain, I have to do multiple passes of conversion. You can see behind me that I have a lot of amazing gear. I have a lot of stuff from West Audio, I have a Phoenix, I have a Creme RC, and I've made the decision to remove the RME ADI2 Pro FSR from the chain. Not because it was bad, but because I wanted more flexibility. I want the ability to add pieces of gear on individual sources. I want to process the vocals with the EQ. I want to process the drums with the bass compressor from Wes. I want to add that Phoenix to the bass. I want to add the new tube compressor on the vocal bus. I didn't have that ability when I was using a single loop of conversion. It was too limiting. I had to process and print the stems. It was time consuming because with analog you have to do everything in real time. The sound has to travel through the analog. So the decision for me was a no-brainer. I'm not just a mastering engineer. When it comes to mastering, I think having a single loop of conversion, it's better. We are talking about small increments, high-end converters, taking all the technical specifications to the next level. Nowadays, I'm not doing just mastering, I'm doing a lot of mixing work, and that's why I've decided to rely on the X16 more and have everything connected to that. What I want to do now is add just a simple drum loop inside Studio One and add all the analog hardware that I have on this drum loop. In the studio I have 9 pieces of analog hardware. 5 of those are connected to the X16 and the rest of the 4 are connected to the Calypso. Both the X16 and the Calypso are amazing converters, but let's see how bad they mess up with the signal when we are doing multiple passes. Let's add all the gear in the studio one by one on this drum loop. All the gear is on bypass, so there's not going to be any processing except the conversion happening. Let's start with no conversion. One pass of conversion. Right now I'm using the 5 pieces of gear that I have connected to the X16, so this drum loop is getting converted from digital to analog and from analog to digital 5 separate times. Let me export this one and bring it back into the session. The waveforms are different because on the first one I have the input at -5. I don't want to see any clipping or anything touching 0. I just want to make sure that the signal stays below 0. Let's do a quick A/B. Even though I have used 5 conversion loops on this drum loop, I'm not hearing any major degradation. Now I'm adding the conversion loops from the Calypso. Let's also render this one. So even with something exaggerated, 9 conversion loops on the same source, I'm not hearing any degradation, and that's encouraging to me because I always had this feeling that I am doing an injustice to the projects that I work on when I was doing multiple conversion loops. That comes from my insecurities and my imposter syndrome also. But after testing this out, I am comfortable in being more creative with my chains. Of course, in the future, it will be important to not have that many conversion loops if I want to expand the system. I'm thinking about adding a Flock patch pay, but that's out of my budget for the moment. And that will fix the issue because I will be able to create any chain I want and use just the number of conversion loops that I actually need. I hope that you enjoyed this more relaxed, laid back type of videos. Thanks for the support and see you guys really soon. Cheers.